What's the one piece of career advice you wish someone had given you when you were starting out?
Something that one of my delivery directors said was only worry about the controllables, stuff that you can actually impact you. And early on, I was thinking about all like huge bits of work you're thinking about and worried about everything. And it's like, well, just look at the controllables. And actually just, you can sort of forget all this other stuff. It's not your responsibility and you can't influence it. And that's really helped focus on what I need to do personally or the team needs to do. And it stops you worrying about stuff that you're not responsible for. So it's like, well, I'm not actually responsible for that. I can't control it. So actually don't worry about it. And it really helps your mindset and your focus as well. And your head space. Yeah,
it's looking at that circle of influence and circle of control.
Yeah.
At Evolution, we all did this. I don't know if you've heard of, there's a guy called Franklin Covey.
No.
And that's like 7 habits of being successful.
Yeah.
So we did that, and one of the main things that we looked at was that circle of control and circle of influence, and not worrying about things that are out of your control and just really focusing your mind on what you are able to control.
It really helps your mindset, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because I think, especially in recruitment, there's so many different things. And in IT is changing all the time, isn't it? Technology.
Absolutely.
So looking at things that you can actually control just gives you that real focus on what's at hand.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's good for your mental health as well, that you're not thinking about all this stuff that you can't actually do anything about anyway.
Yeah. Can you share a pivotal moment in your career journey that has made a significant impact?
So early on in my career, maybe when I was about 24, 25, I was in civil service and I started working with the big 4 consultancies. And first of all, you're like blown away by, they got great suits, great hair, they got the mobile phones, they have the cars and everything, and they got clever words and they can present themselves really well. And they look the absolute business. And then after a while, months or years, you go, actually, this is just a front, isn't it? They're no sharper or brighter than anybody else. They're just very, very polished.
Yeah.
Therefore, why can't I do what they do? Why is it that I can't break into that business and do what they do? Because I can see what they're doing, the logic of it. So I was a civil servant at the time and I thought, well, it's some of it's bluster, some of it's front, and certainly I can bluster in front and then work out what to do.
Yeah.
And myself and a few other civil servant colleagues who were quite junior at the time all felt the same, and we all moved into the private sector and moved on, and people have risen really high in really big companies. And it's basically that realization that actually some of these people weren't great. They look great. I mean, they look great. They were polished, but what was behind it? So I suppose it's that looking for the emperor's new clothes. They're so polished, but are they actually saying anything of use or value, or are they just very polished?
And did you see a big difference going from, like you say, the civil service into the private sector?
It was better. It was actually better because you didn't have so much governance and structure. You could get stuff done. So you join there and go, oh, this is great. You can actually do stuff. People trust you. It's like the management overhead's too much not to trust you.
Yeah.
So it was loads easier to actually get stuff done. Mistakes are more allowable in the private sector because they expect mistakes but just learn and move on really quick. So yeah, it was a big difference and all that.
How do you approach challenges or setbacks in your professional life, and what's your go-to strategy for overcoming them?
Well, there's a few things I've thought about here. So if you've got that challenge, if you've got a great culture in your organisation, so you've got a supportive team and management, then all problems you can overcome and they don't stress you out too much. If you've got a culture that's wrong and there's a blame culture, unsupportive, people pointing fingers, then these challenges and setbacks become much bigger than they need to be.
Yeah.
You end up spending a lot of time protecting yourself and your team rather than doing the job. And you really find out about people, your management, people you work with, when you've got a big setback. So that in that cultural piece in that area, if you've got a great culture, the setbacks you can overcome them, and you get support and you learn. Bad culture, you know what? You're in a spiral of sort of, this is the wrong place to work. If a problem is and it's not supporting the wrong place. Then in terms of personally, it's that stepping back and thinking, well, who do I work for? You're working for your family, not this company. So it's to step back and go, well, what's really important in my life? Is it really this company? Or actually, am I working for my family? That's really what you're looking for. It's your family. And put it in context. Am I working on a life support machine? Or am I working on a database for a company, a bank, right? And is it really going to fundamental to change the world? Or actually in context, a slippage or a problem, is it really fundamental? It's important, but is it fundamental? Have you got it in context of what goes on in reality?
No, I was just going to say, when you said then about working in an environment where one is supportive and working in another where it's not, have you been in those two environments and seen a difference?
Yeah, absolutely. We had a huge problem when I was running a big program for a bank, massive, millions of pounds potentially. And the support from the management was absolutely 110%, complete support all the way through. Couldn't fault them. And it made a year's worth of, which could be a really painful project, actually enjoyable.
Yeah.
And all the people on the project were great and we enjoyed it. We understood it was hard, but actually all that support made a massive difference to what we were doing completely.
In the delivery.
In delivery, everybody was happy. Everybody was pretty content, working hard and challenged. But the support made 100% difference in terms of how everybody felt about the work. Retention was really good. People wanted to work on a problem project because of the support around.
A bit unheard of.
It's a bit unheard of, but then you create the right culture and that drives through the organisation. It's huge.